Okay? All I got to say is Kenny talked about everything. So, thank you. Good job, Kenny. All I wanted to just discuss, first of all, the fishing rod that I use. Kenny comes to a boat, he brings 4 rods, and he ties them all in the corner because that's his spot. You know, I got this one rod. Let's say you got tsunami rod, and it's a great rod. The last time I did this, it broke. I'm not going to bend it again. And I also have this Quantum Accurus reel, which I believe is a great reel.
You like the thumb?
I like the reel, and this rod has this tip there for your finger, and you can just fish like this all day with one hand. You don't even need your other hand, really. And you can put it down, you can sit there and jig, and you can do that all day. Another thing great about this reel is you don't push it down, and then you got to go like this to get it going again. You push this down, and it just keeps coming out. As long as you hold it down, the button. So when you hold it down, you cast it out, you don't have to, swing it 3 times to cast it. You just push the button down and cast it right out, and it goes out, and you hold your finger on it till you get to the bottom. All right? And then you don't have to get to the handle. All you got to do is go like that. Let go of it, and it stops. All right, so now you're fishing for the fish. And again, like Kenny said, when the fish, you feel that fish hit, he hits, right? All you got to do is push that button, and the line starts to go out. And he gets another hit, and you give him another push, and the line comes out. And then once you feel that he's on that, you pick it up and you got the fish. It's a great rod, a great reel, and it's got the guides that turn, right? I feel that when the line comes out on the top here, it's on the bottom. And it's a lot easier. Yeah, it's not the other way up, so. This I used in Nantucket. This I caught my 12-7 with. I've also caught a 10-3 blackfish with it.
How many ounces of lead do you use?
Well, it depends on the day. A lot of times you fish, you start with 6 ounces most of the time.
What's the max you use?
I would use 10 ounces. I've got the 12. But then it's, if you have 12 ounces, you got to have a lot of scope. So you can do that jigging. You can't be straight down with 12 ounces,
That heavy?
Oh, yeah, I've done 12 ounces with this rod, yeah, not a problem. But then once you get to 12 ounces, it's not any more fun anymore. But anyway, this is a great rod. Also, I like to do on the end of my line, I put a snap swivel on the end of my line. Because when you're out there fishing, you get stuck all the time. I was fishing on Derek's boat Sunday. I lost 5 or 6 rigs. Huh? 5 or 6? Yeah, 5 or 6 rigs. But again, when you have this rig, this is what I like to use. I like to use these. This is like a shine, right? But it's a little different. But what I like about it is I've got a snap swivel on this end to hook onto my snap swivel bow swivel, and this end is a bow swivel too, and you could put on a less lighter line with a sinker. So when you do get stuck, that line breaks, and you don't lose this. Okay, these are $6 a piece. If you lose 5 of them, you're talking about $50 you lost. So.
What is that, like a chartreuse?
Yeah, it's a like something like what's it called? What are these called? Where did Kenny go? Yeah, like a poison tail. Okay, it's like what Kenny had, something different. But what I like about the poison tail on these type, it's got a little thing down here, and you can take your gulp. I don't know where it is. Just here, gulp. You can take this gulp, all right, and these are also like 8-0 hooks. I like to use an 8-0 hook if I'm looking for big fish, because what happens is you put the gulp on, and you put spearing on, and there's no room for the fish to hook if you have a 6-0 hook. There's no room for that, you know what I mean? So if you use an 8-0, you got plenty of room. And what I like to do is I stick this here on here like this.
Like a grub?
It's a gulp. you know. And then I come around like this, and then it's got this thing on here that you could slide it right on, and it snaps on there, and it doesn't come off. Doesn't come off. With a regular hook, you got to slide it up like a bait hook, or you got to slide it up past the eye, so it stays. And those keep falling off every time a fish bites this. But with this particular one, it's got these like a notch in there which grabs the gulp. You know, and I got a whole bunch of different gulps that I use. I mean, I got a whole jar here full of all different kinds. The pink shine, the nuclear chickens. There's orange, there's red, there's, you know, you never know what's going to work. You know, and they're all 6-inch. Is what I usually use. So anyway, so that's with the fishing and this reel it's a great reel. I always put on 30-pound test. Kenny talks about doing 15 pounds, 20 pounds. I like the 30-pound test. That's what I do. And the reason for that is that you're down there in the rubble and you're fishing and your line is touching stuff down there. All right? I hate to have 10-pound test and you get a nice fish and your line breaks because it got worn from a rock or something, debris down there. That's why I like to use a 30-pound test, you know. And I use also the leader. I use 30 pounds to make my high-low rigs and stuff. I do not do mono backing. I do my braided line right to my snap spool and to my rig. Huh? I do a snap swivel, and I do a clinch knot on there, and that snips out. Because also, now you want to say, oh gee, maybe I'm going to change my rig. So now you got to cut it all off and tie a knot, and I just undo the thing, put a new one on, and I'm done. To me, it's easier. It's not in the way. You know, I think it's easier that way. Like I said, the hooks I like to use if I'm out in Montauk or Nantucket. We've gone to Nantucket every year, Kenny and I. And Jimmy, where did Jimmy go? Jimmy McGarity goes, and a few other guys go. We go to Nantucket every year. And if you ever fished in Nantucket, if you never did, you got to go. Because you go out there and you put your rig on, you put your bait on, whatever you want to do. It doesn't matter what you use. And you put your line down there, and you start the jig, and boom, you get a fish. You put new bait on, boom, you get another fish. Boom, we fished in Nantucket. We take the Viking 5-star out of Montauk, which is nice. 2-hour ride to Montauk. We get in the afternoon. We have dinner. We get on the boat. 9 o'clock. We drive out there. We go to sleep. We get there 5:30 in the morning, and we start fishing from 5:30 till 8 o'clock at night. All right, this year we went out. This year is only 3 fish per man. Last year was 4. So last year we took 152 fish home with 12 guys on the boat. This year we only took 95 fish because there's only 3 fish per man. But we caught the 95 fish, the keepers. We caught them on that first Saturday. If you look at these pictures here, I mean, these are all the fish that we caught. 95 fish in the first day. The second day, you got to release the fish. We were releasing the second day. We fished from like in the morning till maybe 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock before we have to start driving back. We're releasing 8-9 pound fish. You catch the 8-9 pound fish, and God, I gotta let this thing go, and you gotta put it in the water and let it go. The captain says if we get something over 10, you can keep it. But that's crazy. And every morning we're releasing 8-9 fish. I don't think I've ever caught a 5 pound or less in Nantucket. It's just an amazing place. You have no idea. I don't think I caught a 5 pound, anything less than 5 in Nantucket.
Hey, Bob.
There's no rocks there. There's no debris. What?
Bob, you were the winner of last year's
Right.
FTC shootout.
Yes.
That's not Nantucket.
No, I know. Oh, I'm just talking about Nantucket because
I hear you.
I don't know how many people have ever gone there. It's stupid fishing, really.
Tell tell us about that. Tell us about that experience and
Okay.
how you caught that fish.
This is the rod I caught it on. We got out there to start fishing. We got at the Hempstead Reef on my boat, and we started fishing in one area, and I think we picked up a few little fish, nothing big, and well, for some reason we said, gee, look over there's a lot more boats. How come we're fishing here, Because when we got there was like nobody around. So I had some numbers for that spot, but it didn't pan out. So we decided to go over to where the other boats were. And I look on my machine. I got a nice 10-inch Garmin. And I could see the bottom. I could see all this stuff was going on. And we just went there. We started fishing. It was me and Kenny and Ray Eigenton. And we started fishing, and I think Kenny caught the first fish. It was a keeper. So we got it in the boat, and then we're fishing again, and we got a few more shorts and this and that. And I don't remember if it was 8 o'clock. I don't remember. We got out there about 6, I guess. And I caught a few shorts, and then all of a sudden I had my line in, and all of a sudden I went, oh, and I picked the rod up, and I was stuck on the bottom. Damn, shit. I'm shaking, trying to get it off, and I had to break the line. It was stuck. So I brought it up, I put another rig on, and I went back to fish again. So now I'm fishing, and I go, and I go, damn, I got stuck again, right? Well, as I said that, the line started coming out of my reel, and my rod was doing this. I mean, it was pounding, like you just can't believe it was pounding.
But what were you saying when that was
I didn't even say, oh. Because I was so excited, I didn't even say, oh. I was like, oh my God, it's a fish on there. I thought I was stuck.
You got shoulders.
And I'm reeling, and the rod is like doing 180 degrees around. And I'm reeling, and Kenny's still fishing. And Ray, who doesn't really fish that much, he just came into the sport. He grabs the net, and I go, oh, shoot. So he netted the fish very well, brought it into the boat, and Ray was like, oh my God, look at the size of that. He could not believe. He's never seen a fish that big. This is the fish, by the way, right here. Wow. Okay.
How many pounds?
It was 10.93, and that was a nice fish. These are all other fish here. This one I caught in Nantucket. That was 12.7. This was the Simple Life in Montauk. I think that was 10, almost 11. 11.2, I think it was. And this, you can see here, it's 5-star. And here's a nice big fish Kenny got. I think that was a 12-something. And I think this was this year. A few of his Kenny and Jimmy McGarity, his Henry Dam, myself. I think even Marianne is in this picture. So we had a good time, a lot of fish.
So Bob, you're fishing your boat this weekend.
Say again?
You're fishing your boat this weekend?
Yes, I'm going to fish this boat this weekend to see if it runs. Because I put the boat in, I think, July 1st or 2nd, or right after July 4th.
So what advice?
Yeah. I put it in, wait a minute, I live on the water. My boat's on the side of the house, right? So normally when I put it in, now I can look at it in the backyard instead of the side of the house, because you're always fishing with somebody else.
So what advice?
So the boat's sitting there, and I haven't used it yet. Almost a month. And I'll tell you what, Bob Ensenberg put his boat in May. He went to use it last week. He could not get the boat on a plane because he had too much growth on the bottom. He had to have his son dive down and scrape all the shit off of it. But
so besides getting divers, what advice would you give people for this coming tournament?
Well, one more thing was, listen to this. Last year's tournament, we caught the big fish, and we caught a smaller fish, and then we fished for another hour and a half. We couldn't get anything. So Kenny said, let's take a ride. We'll take a ride, about a half hour, an hour ride out further. We went to that spot. We got nothing. We had to come all the way back, and we came back and we caught our third fish. But if we would have stayed there, we probably would have got quite a few more. And we missed getting the 3 heaviest fish by 4 ounces. So, you know, we would have had probably won everything in the pool. So, that's what we did, you know. So I showed you about the gulp. I showed you all the rigs and stuff. And, you know, the bait that I like to use, I like to do the spearing, of course, and the bellies. A lot of times you get some fluke. A lot of guys, they take a short fluke, which is not really allowed, but a lot of guys do it. And they, you know, fillet it up and cut the bellies, and they use it for bait.
Light side or the dark side?
I like the white side better, you know. And I think it seems to work. You make some nice strips on there, put it on with your spearing, and...
Have you used the ribbon?
A what?
The ribbon.
No, yeah, not really, no. No, I don't really care, no. I don't use the ribbons. But, you know, and I don't know what else is there to say. Kenny said it all. So, a lot of times you catch a lot of other different fish. You can catch mackerel. You can catch sea robins. You could cut those up too, and put strips on there from those baits. You know. And I also like this here. I got a spray bottle for my gulp. As I'm using it, I realize, you know, we're moving the boat. Before I put it in, I give it on there, and yeah, and you can do it on your underarms, right? And it just seems, you know, who knows if the gulp works? Definitely works. The odor, the spray stuff, the liquid, I don't know. Is that the reason why? I was fishing on Miss Montauk one day, and a guy only had gulp on there. No bait, no nothing, just gulp. And he was catching fish. So who knows if it's the attraction of the gulp or the smell of the liquid, I don't know. But, and I guess that's about it. I got any questions, anybody?
Awesome.
Now, Kenny, you know, talked about all of the stuff, the depth, the water, the bottom, and, you know, just, so good. Thanks, guys. Thank you.